Investigating for you. This is News 4 Tucson, live at 10.
Some breaking news. A highway chase leads to a major drug bust on the east side tonight. Details on that in just a minute. But first, an overflowing Nogales wash shutting down roads and leaving residents with quite a muddy mess tonight as monsoon 2015 made a quick and noisy appearance. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sean Mooney. A popular Cochise County destination has a lot of cleaning up to do as well. Strong winds ripped the roof off a barn at Apple Annie's farm, blowing over trees and power lines. News 4 Tucson's Sam Salzwedel has more from Wilcox. It's new at 10.
I don't know if it was a microburst or what happened. I don't know what happened. We don't get weather like this often.
Mandy Kirkendall didn't think the damage would be this bad when she was called to the produce barn. The wind sent metal projectiles across the farm. Old trees ripped down power lines.
We're just so thankful that nobody was injured. You know, we had people here. It could have been bad.
Since they're going to have to close this barn for a day or two, they're going to move this produce over to another location at the orchard and make sure it's still available over there. This is the 30th season for the family business.
It's very personal. The house is right here, and it's a sad day, but we get a new barn.
They have to make adjustments for their guests the next few days, but hope everything will be completely back to normal for the weekend crowd.
It's a little scary, but everything's okay, and we'll get everything rebuilt and probably back up in a few days here at the farm, but the orchard and the country store are still open.
In Wilcox, Sam Salzwedel, News 4 Tucson.
Well, your storm alert back down to low tonight, but that storm that did roll through the northern sections of Wilcox and affected Apple Annie's was likely a wet microburst with winds in excess of 60 miles an hour, also bringing some impressive rainfall totals across southern Arizona as well. Check these out. Nogales, nearly 1.5 inches of rain. That led to the Nogales wash to spill over its banks. Dragoon picked up over 1 inch. Patagonia about 3/4 of an inch. Bisbee and Douglas right around 1/2 inch of rain. Of course, here in Tucson, yeah, it was mostly pretty light stuff for us. We did pick up 0.02 of an inch there at the airport. There's really not a whole lot left going on across southern Arizona on the radar now, but at least we got some cooler temperatures out of this thing today in Tucson, down to upper 70s and low 80s across the metro, and look at the 60s and 70s now across Cochise County. Do have that storm chance in there for your Monday as well. We'll talk more about that in your full forecast coming up here in just a bit, Sean.
All right, thank you, John. Now on to that breaking news we just told you about. A man is in custody this evening after being caught with several hundred pounds of marijuana. Border Patrol was in pursuit with the car on westbound I-10 and ended up here at Thomas J. Regional Park. Now that's near Valencia and I-10. He crashed his vehicle at that park after barriers were put up. Luckily, no one was injured. All those drugs are in the process of being seized. A daring escape. Drug kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman escapes from a maximum security prison in Mexico twice. News 4 Tucson's Domenica Fuller has more from the people who tracked him down once before. It's a story you'll see only on 4.
Terry Kirkpatrick was on the task force that helped capture El Chapo the last time, and he says this latest escape doesn't surprise him at all. Some call him the inventor of the drug tunnel. Many regard him as one of the smartest drug lords that's ever existed. And everyone agrees, he's dangerous. Officials in Mexico said just last year, there was no possibility of El Chapo ever escaping.
Mexico is now the laughingstock of the entire free world.
Terry Kirkpatrick is a retired federal agent. He helped hunt El Chapo down the last time, and he says this was definitely an inside job.
Only a blind man would not be able to see what was going on, but even that blind man could have heard the vibration of the jackhammers digging the tunnel below the prison. Somebody allowed him to escape. It's absolutely corruption at its highest level.
Kirkpatrick says he's not sure if they'll ever catch him again.
I really wonder how hard the Mexican government is actually going to try to find him, because he has so much information on the corruption in Mexico. There's no doubt that he hasn't paid hundreds of millions of dollars off to every single person in law enforcement.
Experts on the drug war in Mexico say everyone should be concerned El Chapo is back out there.
90% of the illegal drugs that are consumed in the United States come from Mexico. They run operations in Chicago and all the major cities, and they're responsible for a lot of cross-border violence that occurs down here in the southwest border.
This is the equivalent of Osama bin Laden being captured and incarcerated in a prison, and a year later he walks away only to re-engage in his terrorist activities with more fervor.
So now the manhunt begins for the world's most sought-after fugitive. I'm Dominica Fuller, News 4 Tucson.
A little background now on El Chapo. He was wanted in southern Arizona on drug trafficking and money laundering charges. Guzman was captured back in 1993 in Guatemala on similar charges and was serving 20 years in a Mexico prison. In 2001, he escaped in a laundry cart and was on the run for the next 13 years. Guzman was finally caught in February 2014 in Mazatlan. At the time, he was wanted in 6 different U.S. courts for smuggling drugs across the border. The News 4 Tucson investigators have uncovered a federal case brewing right now in court. Prosecutors are preparing to indict a man they accuse in a very unique trafficking case. Investigative reporter Steve Ryan delved into the world of the black market in Tucson to bring you this story.
The Tucson Gem and Mineral Show draws in clients from all over the world, but we've uncovered a new criminal case in which prosecutors allege it also brought in an illegal fossil trafficker. Among the crowd perusing the gem and mineral displays at this now quiet Days Inn near I-10 were undercover federal customs agents. They found a Psittacosaurus fossil similar to this one for sale. Then, according to this federal search warrant uncovered by the News 4 Tucson investigators, an agent approached the owner of a company, Jun Yang.
He's been renting a space every year, just like normal everybody does, same room and same space.
Piyush Patel runs Globex and the Days Inn. He's rented space to Yang every year since 2005, including these 2 rooms.
When the investigator came here to tell us that he has illegal fossils from China that he smuggled, and we're just going to do peaceful investigation and you won't have any problem with any other guest or anything, we said okay.
Yang allegedly told the agents that the fossil was 130 million years old and had been dug up in central China. Agents say he wanted 15 grand for it and was also selling hadrosaur eggs like these for $450. According to the warrant, the agent asked, "You got it out illegally?" Yang allegedly said, "Yes, and the person who sold me this piece charged me a lot because of the quality." Yang, who's pictured here, specialized in stone carvings. He told undercover agents, allegedly, that he smuggled the fossils with the carvings, but didn't declare them with customs. A fossil expert told the agents the contraband likely originated in the Liaoning province of northeastern China before landing in Tucson.
And then they arrested him and then took him away from here.
Patel says he was surprised by the arrest. He even used to rent space during the gem show to Yang's father.
So last time I talked to them when he left from here, he said, I will never come back to the country because they have, took my visa away from here, and I have not heard anything after that.
Yang posted a $20,000 bond and was released. His lawyer says he's back in Canada, his country of citizenship.
I can't say this. Jun Yang, my client, is confident that he will be treated fairly by the United States Attorney's Office and the U.S. District Court.
The warrant specifies that China prohibits the export of fossils. They're considered cultural relics. Vance Holliday is a geology professor at the University of Arizona.
I understand the urge for people to want to own these things.
There seems to be a bit of a black market for them.
Oh, I suspect it's more than a bit of a black market.
Organizers for the Tucson Gem, Mineral, and Fossil Showcase say they do everything they can to keep the black market out.
Well, I think what everybody needs to remember is given the longevity and the scope and the duration of this event, it has been remarkably free of major incidents like this.
Federal prosecutors will formally indict Yang later this month. Of course, we'll continue following the case for you. If you have something you'd like the News 4 Tucson investigators to check out for you, just email us at investigators@kvoa.com, or you can call our tip line at 955-4444. Investigating for you, I'm Steve Ryan, News 4 Tucson.
Divers took to the waters of Sahuarita Lake searching for a weapon possibly used in a shooting there last weekend. You may remember police were called to a fight near a lakeside home in Rancho Sahuarita. Several homes and vehicles were hit by gunfire. Today, divers from the Pima County Sheriff's Department used sonar scanning and metal detectors to see if there was a weapon in that lake. Marquise Forney and Jesse Zermano Jr. are facing several felony charges in that case, including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and discharging a firearm at the residence. Up next at 10, detectives investigate a man after surveillance cameras were found in a bathroom. Details in tonight's Crime Trackers report. Plus,
The ruby slippers, what have you done with them?
that's what one Judy Garland fan wants to find out, how she's helping with the 10-year mystery. Keep it here. News 4 at 10. We'll be right back.
Investigating for you. This is News 4 Tucson.